The following is a presentation of the Boltup Sports Media Network.
Here comes pressure, throws it to Eckler on the screen. He's got a block to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone.
High pass. Did Williams make that catch? My goodness.
For a first down, Herbert with time. Now running out of time. Throws on the run. Down the sideline. Caught in the end zone. Keenan Allen for the touchdown.
Throws, and again it's intercepted. And that's Asante Samuel.
Here's another one. Watch out.
How did it feel when Derwin James absolutely powerbombed the out of you on national television?
You're listening to the Shock Therapy Podcast with Tyler Lawrence and Zach Alfers.
And we're back. I haven't seen you in like a while. We've been talking a little bit. I've been out in kind of your neck of the woods a little bit. You're still a little further north, but dude, how have you been? What's it like being I don't know, free? I haven't talked to you
free?
in like
I wouldn't
so
say free.
long, how's baseball going right now?
Oh, no, I've just been working my ass off. Baseball's really enjoyed watching draft because that means we're officially into NFL offseason and just a few short months away from the 2023 season. And so I'm excited. Baseball is great. It's really distracting because it takes a lot of my time, if not all of it. But happy to be back. Happy to talk Chargers football.
Yeah, man, I'm glad that you're here. Dude, I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. We still have to break down the draft. It's not something we're going to do today. Today, we're going to kind of focus on the schedule drop, which every year, I swear, I go through, I create an Excel spreadsheet. I do everything I can to try to put as much of the schedule together before 5 p.m. when they drop the schedule. Because I try to I don't know why. I'm so interested in doing all of that. I didn't get the full schedule.
You almost nailed it last year. I didn't see.
I was too off last year. I had two teams in the wrong place last year. This year, I was a lot further away. I was like 5 or 6 away. Chargers always keep things really close to the chest. Really difficult to get those leaks from the Chargers. Not necessarily a bad thing, but we do have a new Chargers anime schedule release video, similar to something that they did last year. And I kind of want to show everybody it because there's a lot of Easter eggs inside of it, a lot of fun little things. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play it one time through, let everybody kind of see it. And then we're going to pause on each of the individual screens so we can kind of look at the Easter eggs and kind of talk about them. Some of them are funny. Some of them are a little, gut wrenching. Like, that sucked. But it's good stuff and it's fun. So let's get into it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Entire screen. This screen. Alrighty, you ready for this? And let me know if you can hear. Give me a quick sound check.
Let's do it.
Can you hear it?
I cannot hear it.
Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. All right. Anyways, we'll just talk about it individually. So each of the screens, and I'll just kind of start it over real quick. So let's start with the first, right? It begins with like a receipt, 27-0. It's got the date on there. We all know exactly what this is from. The huge loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Talks about pain, right? It's kind of like a remembrance of like something bad. And then the first thing that happens is you got a foot smashing on it. And then we got all the people that we're going to see here. I think this is I don't know how much you are into anime. Do you know anything about anime?
No, I watch Punch Man. I watched Naruto as a kid. I'm not super into it. It's not that I don't like it. I just didn't really get super into it.
Yeah, like I've got a little bit, like I recognize a couple things, like I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, Naruto. I've watched a good chunk of, but I'm not like the super into anime, right? Like I've seen enough of the Alchemist or whatever it's called. It's been a little while since I've watched anything. So this on his shirt it says, "I wish it were colder." This is for the Week 1 Dolphins. And where is he from? Their head coach,
McDaniel.
the Dolphins head coach, Mike McDaniel. Is he from the Jets?
He came from. I think he spent a lot of time, but most recently he was with the Patriots. I'm pretty sure.
Was it Patriots? I think it.
I
So
want to
he
say
was
he was
up
like
somewhere up north.
I could be wrong.
Mike McDaniel is his name, right? Mike
McDaniel. Yeah.
So Mike
I know he's been in
McDaniel
the league a
spent
while.
Yeah, a little bit. So he came over from the 49ers, actually.
Oh, that's right. He was the OC there.
Yeah, so he's been the head coach. I wish it were colder. He's kind of comes from cold areas. Not really. I don't understand that I wish it was colder, but it is what it is. And he's vaping, which is weird and funny. Like, where do we get the vaping from? Did I miss that? Do you recognize that scene?
I don't recognize that scene in particular. I think it's just kind of a play on that. He's a young coach. I've seen a video of him just like dancing through the players' warm-ups, and they're and like a caption like on social media being like, Mike McDaniels is the kid of the CEO whose parents left for the weekend and has the keys to the house. So he
right, exactly. That's who he is.
His quirkiness. I think he's just like a young, cool guy. He's not older than. I mean, some of his players are like 10 years older than him. I think that's a play.
Weird, right?
Like he's a new age cool kid. I think it's funny.
So I think it's funny they have him like vaping, which is just weird and hilarious in itself. I gotta want to get your thoughts a little bit. Like, what do you think about the Dolphins this year? And maybe you haven't done all the research, but are they going to be better than they were last year?
I don't know. I really don't think so. I think now. I really don't think so. Now I think you're going to have to start playing with expectations. They came out so hot and absolutely melted down. So I think, the potential's there. They were one of the best teams in the league for the first half of the season. And so I think outside eyes.
And then they melted down like at the end of the year.
And they melted down.
Disappeared.
So I think also the surprise is lost, right? We're not going to be in the league in general off, taken off guard with this explosive offense. We get it. They're going to try to get the ball out fast. They're of a lot of speed. The defense is a work in progress, but there's a lot to be happy about there. I still think it's going to be one of those teams where outside media is going to give them way higher expectations than they can live up to, and they're going to fall short. I could see them like a 9-8 team again.
Yeah, and I feel like
streaky.
What they're really too streaky needed to add. I feel like what they really needed to add was a legit running back, a running game. And they didn't add anybody. They drafted Devin Arcane, he's a speed back, but he's not an every down back. So they're going into the season with Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and Devin Arcane as their three primary backs. That's not anything I'm worried about. You're totally right. I totally did mute myself. My bad. So on the next scene, right, they show Derrick Henry being built in a lab, basically, right? It's kind of what it looks like. They've got like mayonnaise, and I want to say that's like a banana peel. Do you know what the referencing is there?
Maybe that Derrick Henry gets cramps a lot.
Oh, maybe. Actually, that would
they cramp a lot as a team, right?
Yeah, so they're having a little bit of fun here. They're picking on his injury history, but they're also showing him built in a lab because there's no running back built like Derrick Henry is. And then let me go ahead and keep going in
absolute
here.
Machine. I like it.
So US Bank Stadium is the Vikings. And if you
This one I don't
remember
really
the Vikings,
understand.
the Vikings stadium, snow like made the roof crash in on itself. This was a couple years back, right? Because they had built this
Oh,
huge
yeah.
billion-dollar stadium, and there's snow falling through the top of the stadium through in like it became like a really big like health issue, right? Like they were afraid that they were gonna have fans in the stands and that the roof was gonna cave in over itself, which is just insane. And then obviously we know
I
this
remember
is
that
Justin
now.
Jefferson here. But they have some other things in here. So fun game versus the Bills 2022 week 10. Timberwolves play in winter 2022. Recognized in a Lizzo song. Justin Jefferson offensive rookie of the year. And then #1 NFL PA team. So do you remember the Lizzo song?
That's funny.
Do you remember the Lizzo
that
song?
was about him?
Yeah, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
I remember the song.
I think she was
I
like
just thought-
saying something.
I
think she was like talking about all
like
the Vikings.
the line is new man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So it's funny that they just caught that and threw that in here,
But
right? Like
I
the
just
little...
thought it was a little. It must have been his rookie year.
It might have been, but I mean, he was mentioned in a Lizzo song, right? Like that's kind of funny.
I'm lagging, but I feel like the time frame's a little off.
All right, well,
I
we'll
just don't know
keep
that
going.
it's him.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
you could recognize it. So we got Raiders head coach here.
I like the next one.
So get your quarterback back, and it's a slot machine in Vegas of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what you get. That's your prize.
Whoa, jackpot. I love that.
All right, I love this, right? So week 5 is our bye week. Sheldon High School Fishing Club, and it's Justin Herbert fishing as the bye week. That's awesome. And then didn't even recognize this my first time through. What was the name of this Pokemon? Used to have the
Psyduck.
headaches. Psyduck. So they got Psyduck in here. You're going to see a
Psyduck.
few more Pokemon through here. That's hilarious. All right, on to the next one. So Dak Prescott gave away the ball twice in a narrow loss to the 49ers in a matchup the Cowboys had a chance to win if they didn't again generate self-inflicted wounds. Hashtag Dallas versus San Francisco. Hashtag Cowboys. Dak on the loss, 100% me. And then it said something else on the next screen. Oh, he's just reading about himself and how he ended up like throwing that game away. Oh, and his content team was actually posting about this. That's what this was about. So his own personal content team, like the Cowboys content team, was literally talking trash about him and was posting these articles about how he destroyed their playoff hopes.
Wow.
That's
I don't
like-
think they love him a whole lot, do they?
No, they don't. That's their star quarterback.
It's pretty crazy.
This is my favorite of all of them. So do you know what this do you recognize this?
No.
All right. So the the Chiefs had a fan who used to dress up like a dog, but he got arrested for robbing a bank. So he was going to every single home and away game, and he got caught robbing a bank. I didn't even find out about this until a couple weeks ago because my father-in-law was telling me about it. So he was robbing banks on his way to Chiefs games, away games, and then would use that money to go and pay for his next games. Eventually, he got caught.
I'm gonna have to knock off a bank because I want season tickets.
Yeah, right. And now he's putting on a ankle bracelet, so because he's gonna come back around when we play him again. So Justin Fields is a little tiny bear, little Build-A-Bear. It says Rebuild-A-Bear, which is also kind of funny because they're rebuilding.
They've been rebuilding for a decade now.
There was a couple other things I saw. Mitch, I love to Smokin' Jay. They got Smokin' Jay in here. Rexy, I went to a Super Bowl. Oh, so these are all their terrible quarterbacks. That's what it is. They had the cool quarterback, Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon was like super cool, but also not a great quarterback. Rex Grossman took them to the Super Bowl. Smokin' Jay, which is just a meme in itself. And then, Mitch Trubisky. But now we've got Justin Fields as the little bear.
Fun.
All right. So we play the Jets week 9. Single Cougars in your area. I don't know what that comes from. They've got some girl here dancing.
Single Cougars? That's
Single
a slight
Cougars.
on Zach Wilson because he was trying to get at.
Oh, you're right.
It was somebody's mom.
That's totally right. Totally forgot about that. That is Zach Wilson. And it says out of Green Bay, up in age. New York Sack Exchange. They've got a couple numbers in here. Mark Klecko, Lions Salon.
There's a lot going on in this one.
There is. They've got Trey Young in here. He's ice cold. King of the Broadway. Pizza Rat strikes again. I feel like I know what that's from. They got some Rex Ryan love over here. Damn Snack Bar. I don't know who this is, but he's missing. Ice cream sold out. The Times Square. There's a lot going on, and she's actually like dancing.
Yep.
Oh, I missed it. That was Mina Kim's. All right, I love this. Do you recognize this? The gambling problem.
Oh, is that for all the Lions players because they were betting? What was it, like FanDuel or
Jameson
something?
Williams and all these guys.
Yeah, a bunch of them went down.
Yeah, there was like 5 players that went down from them. So
most of them were Lions guys.
Most of them were, yeah. So they're picking
the
on the
anime lion is
here
weird
for
looking.
The gambling.
What is up with his nose? Is it a nose? Like, what is the white thing coming out of its face?
I don't know.
It's a strange looking lion. It's supposed to be a lion, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, but it's got to be significant, right? Like everything that they've done inside of these videos is super, super significant. I was going to say, like, is there something with a kneecap? But I don't see a kneecap.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's over my head. They're too smart for me.
All right, so we've got the Packers here. Says to-do list, another McAfee interview. Tweet vaguely, do my own research.
Nice, okay.
Schedule ayahuasca appointment. Because
Nice.
Aaron Rodgers was going on these retreats, right? Chippewa Herald Telegram, Brett Favre. Contract doesn't say I have to Aaron Rodgers ready to play. Good kid. Jordan Love is in the background. Great, said Junior Mike holds it. I think it's a good thing. The team needs a leader. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to do it. That was the Wisconsin State Journal that said that. This is too dark. I can't read this over here.
Yeah, there's another lot going on, but Packers are still very upset with Rodgers. I don't know. It seems like there's so much disconnect on both sides. You can just kind of have to let it go. Like, he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, it started
you
like
guys were
last
sick
year.
of him. It's just like a divorce that makes sense. Like, just move on. But I guess not being involved, I think it's a lot easier to say that.
All All right, so the Ravens. So this is actually kind of funny. So the Ravens mascot tore his ACL during
Oh,
a
that's
game,
right.
right? And he was sitting in. And I think if I remember, they did like a skit with the WWE where the guy's like going out in the wheelchair, and it's like a fake leg, and he goes and he stands up out of the wheelchair, and they did something kind of like that. That's OBJ right here. I don't know. Is that? That doesn't look like their quarterback. I don't know what it is, but yeah,
It's not
the
Lamar.
ACL injury for the Ravens. So contract, it's like a blank contract, maybe because they gave their quarterback anything that they absolutely
I
wanted.
think.
It says Ken Francis, agent
Well, and the name's
signed
crossed
here.
out.
Oh, there is no agent, right? Because their
Yeah.
quarterback, what's his name? Lamar
Lamar
Jackson,
Jackson.
doesn't have an agent.
Yeah. Well, and that contract dispute took forever to iron out.
Oh,
So
forever.
lucky
Yeah.
for Lamar, he has his money. But you have to make fun of that because it's kind of funny outside looking in.
It is, yeah, for sure. So in the background, you've got Tom Brady right here. Is that Ray Allen, 34?
No, that's Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, yeah. Oh, he's stealing tape from people. Yeah.
Nice. We didn't forget Belly.
He's cheating.
Freaking
He's
cheater.
cheating.
Phil, inflate the balls and stop watching practices.
Yeah. I know this is significant. I just don't know how, but I don't see a Bronco. Oh, let Russ cook, but it's Patrick Starr.
Oh,
Where does Patrick
funny.
Starr come into this?
I think because he's not. I feel like at one point he tries to be a fry cook and he's just horrible at it, and then he like SpongeBob fires him, or he just doesn't. get
Oh
the job
yeah,
or
you're
something like
right.
that.
All right. We've got all of our wide receivers.
Fuck the Raiders.
All right, I love this. So cash out voucher, right? They paid Jimmy Garoppolo a huge sum of money, and now he's checking out
So
because
much
that's what
money.
he's going to do next year.
Yep.
So the Bills, 4 Super Bowl appearances, back to back to back to back, 4 back to back to back losses. A little bit of a dig there.
Not super. Oh, they didn't make it to all 4 Super Bowls. I think they were just like favorited for a while. Is that what it is?
No, they made it to 4 Super Bowls in a row in the 90s against
Oh, is that? Oh, that's an
the
old. Okay.
Giants, right?
I see this. I see the numbers now. Yeah. Okay.
All right, do you get this? So this is the
I'm getting to
Broncos.
that one. Yeah.
All right, so
show me-
Russell Wilson had his own office at the facility. Did you hear about that?
No, I.
All right, so
What an
like
ego
he
guy.
kind of he strong-armed the coaching staff into giving him an office on the coach's floor. So the players were on like the second level, and then on the third level was all the coaches and the front office people. He had an office by himself up there. He would go and like watch film or whatever. And when Sean Payton was hired as the head coach, he's like, I'm getting rid of that shit. Like, we're getting rid of that. So here he's breaking it down, literally destroying Russell Wilson's office. It says Russ's personal office hours, sign up below, one at a time, please. It says modern bathroom monthly over here.
Yeah, modern
Let's
bathroom
ride.
monthly because there was that TikTok.
What was the TikTok?
I like the bathroom thing because there was a TikTok going on. It was like, I'm gonna keep tracking how many touchdowns Russell Wilson throws until he finally throws more than the amount of bathrooms he has in his house, and he never got there. He has
Oh,
more
I
bathrooms in
remember
his
that.
house
Yeah.
touchdowns he threw last year. And that's what I'm saying. If I'm Sean Payton, get your TD to interception ratio to even, and then maybe we'll talk about getting you a desk chair. But a full-on desk for his performance last year is absolutely ridiculous. You did not earn any of that.
And then right here, you can't see the whole thing, but it says "Let's Ride," which is just classic, anyways.
Let's ride.
All right, and this is the back to the Chiefs. This is them, the guy running from the cops.
Pretty funny. I like it. These are fun. The Chargers content team is world class.
So good. You got Khalil Mack right
Where's
here.
Tomlinson in the wall?
I want to go back to that. All right. So is Michael Davis not the guy that you would expect to be at the very front of this anime stuff? For whatever reason, he just has that look about him where he looks like a dude who's really into anime.
Sure.
And then you've also got Zont here who's all decked out. Like our secondary, guys, it's kind of fun.
Who's that in the left there?
That's J.C. Jackson.
Is it?
27, 43, 26.
27. Okay.
And then we're going to see Derwin James go Super Saiyan.
That's what that was.
Right.
Okay.
Any closing remarks, Zach?
I'm excited. Football season is back. I think every year I wipe the slate clean and I get as irrational as I was the year before. I'm excited. Let's go. Football is back. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Bring
All right,
September
thank you guys
on.
so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys later.